All right, I'm Steve. Time for some more bikes we ride. This is our bike shop, Macklin Bike Shop. I've got a Cervelo Aspero-5 with the Campy Ekar 13-speed 1x mechanical group set, gravel bike, and I've about a year and a half on the bike, off and on, but probably somewhere around 1,500-ish miles on it maybe. And I thought I'd kind of run through the set on it. If you've watched some other videos, you've heard me talk about the Campy Ekar group set already on the Bianchi. And we kind of tend to rotate through some of our demo bikes. A couple of our demo bikes we just sold, so we're kind of starting to rotate in some new stuff. This one's actually available on the website as well. But anyway, about the bike, that said, we're continuing to ride it unless somebody's interested in it. But anyway, the way we've got it set up, so the bike is mostly stock. In fact, it's actually pretty much all stock in this current configuration, except for the tires. So the bike came with some Gravel Kings. And the way I use this bike is, so it's a fast feeling gravel bike, and it is a fast bike. Cervelo is not apologetic about it. It's a race bike. We could argue what a good race gravel bike is nowadays with tire clearance and that type of thing, and how much tire clearance you want. But out of all the gravel bikes I've ridden, the one that feels most closely to like an aggressive, racy feeling, kind of sporty pure road bike would be this one as of now. So it's got 42 millimeters of tire clearance. And it really is a fun bike to ride. When you get on this bike, you want to ride it fast. I actually probably have more pavement miles on it than I do gravel, or maybe it's kind of a 50-50 thing. But anyway, quickly, stock configuration. This has the 9 to 42 tooth Ekar cassette on it. And it came with a 38 tooth chainring. With this group set around here, it probably could run a 42 or 44. I've run the 40 tooth with the 9 to 42 tooth cassette, and you could use more, but there's so much range in this cassette that the 38 is fine. I can do over 30 miles an hour with it, and you can climb anything around here with it. And anyway, so I guess I'll quickly talk about that group set. The gear spacing on this is fantastic. I forget exactly if it's the first 5 or the first 6 gears are 1-2 spacing, and then you go to bigger jumps at the slow end of the cassette. So it works out fantastic. I've actually, after riding this, I've often thought that I could just build a straight up pure road bike running this group set. So because it has all the gear range and it's just simple. Get rid of the front derailleur altogether. But anyway, it's got the Ekar carbon crank on it. I guess the downside of that crank is if you're going to do power, you're pretty much stuck to pedals for your option. I do like the pedals personally though, because I can move them from bike to bike. But for you, maybe that's not as big of a deal. I rotate through bikes because I have in the shop in demoing bikes, turning bikes over. So it is kind of nice to have a set of power meter pedals that I can just move on to the next one. So not a huge deal, but power meter pedals can be more expensive than some of your cheaper crank options. Anyway, the hoods on the Ekar stuff, I've kind of talked about some of this. The ergos are a little different on it than what you're used to. As far as the shifting, I really like it. Some of the reviews I've read out there, and I actually commented on one that I saw out on YouTube a month or so ago. I kind of feel like the people that have ridden these Ekars, or at least gotten them, set them up, and then done early reviews on them, and the complaints they've made literally are just, in my opinion, they didn't set the shifting up right and they didn't set the bike up correctly. Because it is like the upshifts on this thing are awesome. And then when you go to downshift on it, I think if you've been riding a SRAM or a Shimano, you'll probably overshift the first handful of rides because the lever throw is a little different. But once you kind of realize that's what you're doing, it's pretty dialed. The barrel adjuster on it is infinitely adjustable, so you can very, very much dial it in. I've had this bike. Actually, it wasn't this one though. On a different bike with a campy drive, I'd done a gravel race that got pretty muddy, and it was fine. So no different than any other drivetrain. So shifting was good. I would say the brakes. I love the brakes on it. I mentioned this on the Bianchi video. The downside of them, I feel like in wet gravel, if you get caught in wet gravel, even though we try not to ride it, I feel like somehow it sticks in the calipers more so than other bikes I've been on. Outside of that, I love the brakes. I love the feel of the brake levers when you're in the drops. Have been on multiple times, 40 plus miles an hour on gravel descents in the drops on it. Very, very comfortable. So, but it does also, for being kind of what Cervelo classifies as a race bike, it has the bottle cage mount on the bottom of the down tube, so you can fit 3 bottles. I've run this pack on it in here, and I can fit a small water bottle in this Appadura kind of short frame pack. So you can go out. I've been out on rides, 4 bottles, been plenty. You know, if you use this one down there, you swap the lid before you drink out of it. But anyway, so it's a super fun bike. This is the bike that I will, if I don't know exactly where I'm going, I'm gonna go out for a ride and maybe ride a lot of pavement, and maybe the whole ride is gonna be pavement, but I don't know where I might want to end up. Maybe I'm gonna cut across some gravel roads to kind of, you know, I just want to have some options in my ride. This bike works fantastic for that. So I have 36 millimeter Strada Bianca, Challenge Strada Biancas on it, and I really like those tires for that option. They're pretty fast on pavement, and then they'll get down any of the gravel roads around here just fine if I want to cut across something or whatnot. I don't feel like I'm giving up a ton of speed when I'm on the pavement with them. But anyway, I think actually right now, yeah, that is actually kind of all stock. The top tube bag comes with it. I like the Cervelo top tube bag. It's kind of nice and small. They use a plastic plate on the inside of it, so if you put stuff in there, it rattles. If you have one of these, I cut a little piece of cardboard that underlays in the bottom. You could do a piece of foam or something, and it kind of fixes that issue. So anyway, it has a stock Fulcrum wheels on it. They're pretty good. Nothing to write home about, but they work just fine. I've left them on there. It's not a big deal. So haven't had any issues with them. They seem to roll pretty fast. Hub's pretty quiet in them. I like that. The free hub is. And outside of that, I really like this bike. It's been a super fun bike to ride, and I don't think I've talked too much about it yet. But anyway, I got a few other things I want to get through. Some of the bikes we ride, and I've been posting. If you've followed the channel, you've seen a lot of like the race videos and point of view from the mountain bike, that type of thing. And I wanted to get back to a few more of these things, so probably do some chain lube stuff and some tire sealant and that type of thing too. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Any questions about the Asperos, let us know. I mean, there is actually, the base Aspero has been updated this year. We had gotten those in stock this year, but the Aspero-5 is still the same. So, but thanks. Later.